Hey folks, Rich here with FMS Models. Today I have the latest and greatest in the 980mm Warbird series from FMS. This is the 995mm Kawasaki Ki-61 Hind or Tony. For those of you who have seen the early sneak preview video, this is the final production colors. You can see it's done up in this really nice green, very similar to Japanese Zero. Just like the other 980mm Warbirds, this thing has lots of speed and power. And in fact, this one has such a small airframe that it just goes vertical, ballistic, out of sight. So it's lots of speed, lots of power, but you can also slow it down and really fly it at nice scale, slow speeds, as you'll see in the video. Now, to give you an overview of the whole airplane, it's all EPO foam. Comes painted really just the way you see it. Everything's installed. Powering the airplane up front is the same 770 kV brushless outrunner motor that the other 980mm Warbird series have. We made one change to the speed controller. We put a 60 amp speed controller in it because the 70 was overkill and it was taking up a lot of space inside the battery compartment area. So we put a 60 amp controller in there, and that has an onboard BEC that drives all 6 servos that are pre-installed in the airplane. All the primary flight controls are metal gear servos. The flaps are nylon gear servos. It's a 6-channel airplane, just like the others. Aileron, elevator, rudder, throttle, flaps, and retractable landing gear. So it's really a full-featured airplane for a 6-channel radio. Lots of scale detail on this thing, as you can see. Move it around here a little bit. Really nice kind of pitot tube, gun detail up front, lots of engine detail, great graphics. Antenna right here, which I usually choose not to put on mine just because I'm transporting mine around so much, and I usually am tearing my antennas off the airplanes. But great detail, great pilot detail. I'm going to go ahead and open this up for you. Amy's going to kind of zoom in on the cockpit here that I'm going to show you up close. Pilot's relatively detailed with a little instrument panel. Inside of the cockpit is painted gray, and it's also ventilated. And you can see here it has a really nice magnetic latch with a tongue and groove up front to open and close this thing. Now you can see how this thing comes off, and I'm going to have Amy sort of zoom in here on the battery compartment area, and you can see how tight it is. It's a very small fuselage, very narrow, which explains why the thing is really just so fast. 2200 milliamp 4-cell pack here to power it. You can go up to even 2600. You can see the speed controllers right back here. I actually mounted that back here, and you can see how limited the space is. There's a real nice tray back here to put your receiver, and right below those is where the servos for the elevator and the rudder are. So not a whole lot to see there, but you can see it's nice and compact. I'll go ahead and get the cockpit back on here, and you can see how nicely that thing goes right on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip the airplane upside down, show you guys the underside. Lots of stuff to see here on the bottom of all of these airplanes. First and foremost, the drop tanks. They all slide right off, just like all the other FMS planes, so you can fly with them or without them as you desire. Fully retractable landing gear comes pre-installed just the way you see it, guys, with metal trunnions. Go ahead and cycle that for you. Again, they work just this way right out of the box, really nice and smooth. You can also see all the ball links all the way around. Everything's pre-installed. Assembling the airplane is very easy. 4 main wing screws, 2 for your elevator. You do put your horns and your ball links on your flight control surfaces, and you do glue your guns on with a little bit of contact cement that they do give you. Bolt your prop and spinner, and then your receiver and battery goes in. This thing's all ready to fly. Just really nice detail on this entire thing. Now, a new feature I want to show you on the Kawasaki Hind here. Amy's going to kind of zoom right back here on this tail section right here. There's a new easy connector for adjusting the tail, and this makes adjusting your tail wheel servo just really easy with your rudder right at the field with a single screw right there, because there's only one servo driving your rudder and your tail wheel, and that screw just makes it so easy to get them lined up right at the field without needing a separate servo or anything. Just a really nice design. The underside of the airplane has plenty of cooling, guys. Cooling hole in the back, really nice sort of dummy radiator scoop here that helps pull all the air out over the speed controller and the battery. Just really, really nice, guys. Now I'm going to flip this right side up again and show you the back. Of course, flaps set here for 2 positions. All the servos are pre-programmed at a slower speed. So when you do extend them, the airplane doesn't balloon up drastically. They're pre-programmed at that slow speed, which is really nice, so you don't have to have that feature in your radio. Anyway, guys, we've seen it. Let's go ahead and get it out to the runway, and we'll give you a quick flight demo of the Kawasaki Ki-61 from FMS Models. Quick flight control check here, guys. We got the Kawasaki Ki-61 here. We'll taxi it out, setting of flaps for takeoff. We're at the beautiful Tangerine Field, guys, here in Apopka, Florida. Real nice airplane, as you can see. Keep in mind, like I discussed, very short airplane, very short coupled. So taking off with this is very challenging. So you really want to stay on this on the rudder as you're taking off. So here we go, smoothly advancing the power here. Staying on that rudder. And there we go. Gears up, flaps are coming up. And it's harder than it looks actually, but you just got to stay on that rudder. I'll bring it by slow and clean here. Everybody can kind of see it, Pete can follow it. This is a tough plane to film, and Pete does a really good job with it. I'll bring it out here. I'll drop full flaps here. Bring it by for a slow pass. Now this plane is a rocket fast airplane, but it also flies slow really nicely, as you can see. Down here into the valley, nice and slow with full flaps. Once it's airborne and on landing, it's actually pretty pleasurable to fly. It's just that takeoff that's a little bit challenging. Bringing it down here over the runway, nice and slow again with the flaps. Just a nice flying plane, very, very tame. Now we'll turn it up a notch. Flaps are coming up, and we'll do what the Kawasaki Ki-61 does best here, and that is go fast. Power's coming in. Let's see how quick it goes. Now once again, I forgot to turn my elevator rate off, and the pitch was very sensitive, so I went ahead and switched over to my low elevator rate for in-flight. I often forget that. Now it's on a lower rate, and you can control the speed much better. So here we go, the pitch. You can see how fast this thing goes. Pulling up for half Cuban 8. Power's coming back. Bring it right down here on the deck. Full throttle all the way to the end. Half Cuban 8 here at the end as well. Trying to keep it smooth for Pete, because this is a very challenging plane to film because it's so tiny. Bring up the power here. I'll do some steep turns for everybody. This thing just hauls around a steep turn here. Very, very fast plane, very, very small. Of all the 980 millimeter FMS airplanes, this is the smallest one, and it just has lots of power for its size.
How about an inverted pass, Rich?
All right, here we go, Pete. Inverted. I'll keep it upside down and tour around the valley here a little bit. Bringing it down here into the middle. Rolling out. Just a fun plane. Now we got some clouds here, so we're gonna show everybody a little bit of vertical performance. You ready, Pete?
Yep.
All right, throttle's full. We'll pitch it up right here in the middle. Here we go. And you can see this thing will go up and up and up, clear out of sight. I'm lucky I got a cloud here so I can really see this thing. Rolling it around a little so we can follow with the camera a little better. I'll bring it down here. Straight down, rolling it so we can see it a little better. It just goes out of sight, guys. Lots of power. Pulling out, power's coming back in. We'll bring it on by for a high-speed pass here again. This plane just hauls the mail. It is just a fun plane to fly. If you really want to rocket fast, FMS 995 millimeter is what this is. This is the plane. Now let's go ahead and see if I can give you some touch and goes with it. The gear's coming down, flaps are coming into full here. And we'll see if we can give you a touch and go out front. Just like every other 980, this thing comes in nice. Touch and go right up front. Smoothly adding the power. I'm at about half here, guys. You don't want to overpower this thing, because you will lose control. This thing will torque on you, but as long as you're easy on that throttle, you can do this like all day long with it, guys. We'll see if we can give you another one here. There we go, nice on the center line. Adding some power. And going back around, guys. Gear and flaps coming up. Give you guys another inverted pass. Actually, we're gonna do a high speed down the runway. You ready?
Yep.
Power's coming in. Yeah, all the way down to the end of the runway. Pulling up. Bringing it down the center line again. Just a rocket fast, fun to fly plane. One more inverted pass for everybody. Down low into the valley. All right, and we will bring it all in, guys. Couple rolls here on the downwind. There we go. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and bring it into land. Landing gear's coming down. Flaps are coming down. This is real challenging to land after you touch it down because the tail wants to go all over the place because it is a short airplane. So here we go, bringing it on in. Staying on that rudder. Touching down nicely. Flaps are coming up to get it to settle. And you can see it is a little tricky there on the ground, guys. It is challenging. When that tail starts coming down and you're losing that airflow over your rudder, it's challenging to keep that thing straight, but it is controllable, guys. Anyway, yeah, Kawasaki Ki-61 from FMS Models, guys. Just a spectacular plane. All right, guys, that pretty much concludes this video on the Kawasaki Ki-61 Hein or Tony from FMS Models. As you can see from that flight demo, just spectacular performance. The plane will fly slowly at a nice scale speed, but it also just has rocket fast performance. Vertical, just straight out of sight, guys. It's just a really overall just impressive airplane. Very aerobatic, flies inverted nice loops, rolls, pretty much the gambit. Now, as I indicated in the sneak peek preview video that I did earlier on this thing, keep in mind the airplane is very short coupled, okay? Meaning it's very short from its center of gravity to its tail. One of the shortest warbirds that FMS makes. So that makes it real challenging on the runway to take off with because it wants to kind of turn all the time on you. But you just really need to stay on that rudder. It does have very wide landing gear, okay? So it's very stable that way on the ground. You just have to, as you're taking off, as you're landing with this thing, really stay on that rudder, and when you're out there in crosswinds, just to really stay on the rudder. So, but overall, guys, just a fantastic flying airplane. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Thanks for checking out FMS Models, and as always, we'll see you next time.